Hi, and welcome back to the Ascension Playground. My name's Ursie, and I just wanted to come on the playground and share with you a little bit about the Destiny cards. If you remember from an earlier reading, I talked a little bit about these books written by Robert Lee Camp. And it's a system, I just saw an orb, that talks about how hidden in plain sight through a playing deck, there's a certain order of the universe. And so each birth date has a card associated with it that's based on the playing card deck. And so what I have behind me, being a painter, I like to see things visually. So I have taken a drawing board and I have put up what Robert Lee Camp calls the life spread, or the mundane spread. So you have two spreads. One is the spiritual world, where everything is in proper order, right? So there's a sequence that makes sense. But when we come into the third dimension, things get a little scrambled eggs, but it's a game. So here's how it lays out. At the top of the mundane spread, we have three primary cards: the King of Spades, the 8 of Diamonds, and the 10 of Clubs. These three cards are like the crown line. They sit on the crown. Let's see, there's the crown line. So if you happen to have a birth date with one of these three cards, King of Spades, 8 of Diamonds, or 10 of Clubs, whoo-hoo, watch out, because you are on the crown line. And you can see I've put these little glyphs here. This is the sun line. That's that little circle with the dot. That means sun. And so each of these, how do I say it? These columns represents a particular planetary energy, but so does the other sign. So in other words, let's start with this Ace of Spades over here. Excuse me for my crude way of showing you, but here's the Ace of Spades. It has both Mercury and Neptune energy sitting with it. And the ace, if you remember, is for the number 1. And spades, spades are the 4th season within the card deck. You have hearts, the beginning, and then you have clubs, the learning, and then you have diamonds, what you value, money or love, choose one. And then the 4th aspect are spades. So the Ace of Spades again carries Neptune and Mercury energy with it. Anyway, so do each of these cards. So where does your birth date card fit within this incredible mundane spread? I'm going to pause here for a minute so I can take this this visual graphic down, but I just wanted to show you that there is a method to how Robert Lee Camp has been teaching, and the teachings he's received are coming from way back. They're not downloads. It's almost like this oral tradition of sharing how the birth date is informed by one of the energetics of each of the playing cards. Want to test it for accuracy? Let's play. Okay, I'm going to pause for a moment. Hi, I'm back again. Okay, well, before I got rid of my beautiful mundane spread, I wanted to show you a little bit more. Here are the cards that are on the horizontal Mercury line. This is the Venus line. Mars line. What do I mean by that? Let me give you an example. My card happens to be the Jack of Clubs. It sits here. It has Venus energy with Uranus. So I carry a certain love energy, Venus, with a certain kind of, well, the high side of Uranus would be quick, sudden, genius-like, but also perhaps erratic. So you put that together and you get a composite. energy frequency for the Jack of Clubs. Okay, so this is where astrology weaves its way in with the planetary energies in the card deck. But there is an order to all of the dates of the 365 days a year. But except remember, there's only 364 cards spoken for. The last date, December 31st, is the Joker. Now, I explained the Joker a little bit in a previous reading. Oh, I saw another orb. And I can repeat that in a minute. But for right now, let me put this board down. Hi, I came back and I've set up a little something to share with you. Here we go. Okay, Robert Lee Camp. Here we go, Robert Lee Camp. Here's one of his first books, Cards of Your Destiny. What your birthday reveals about you, your past, present, and dun dun dun, future. Okay, so someone in the chat room is a 10 of clubs, a 10 of clubs. And I wanted to show you just real quick. Here is a playing card deck. And Robert Lee Camp really strongly suggests we work with the bicycle standard playing cards, only because if you get playing cards that have different artwork, there's something that is conveyed in the art of the standard deck that isn't in some of the newer ones. You know, so there's very specific information that comes out in the regular playing deck. Anyway, so I am going to do a little bit of a deep dive on the 10 of clubs, and I'm not seeing it in my deck, but I'm gonna walk you through. If you decide to play this game, and it's so much fun, there is a My Destiny card phone app that you might also want to look into. So the first thing you do when you open up the cover of this book is you start looking at your birth date. So my dad's birth date was February the 2nd. He was the 10 of spades, right? But we're looking at a 10 of clubs. And so when you open up the cover, you're going to not only find your birth date, but if you start writing down the dates of your loved ones, your siblings, your parents, you're going to maybe start tracking how many clubs, how many spades, hearts, or diamonds that you're circled with. So let's see. Here it is. I'm just going to call out December 8th is a 10 of clubs. BC means birth card. PRC means planetary ruling card. So I may have mentioned that every card in the deck has a secondary, and there's even a tertiary card as well. But let's just stay with the first birth card. That's like your sun sign in astrology. It's the strongest aspect to play this game. So December 8th is a 10 of clubs. So the next thing we do is, dun, 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 we turn the book to, I'm going to go right here because I bookmarked it, the 10 of clubs. All right. In the back of this book, it shows you how to track the future. You can even look in the back to your birth, you know, from birth throughout all your life. Because here we see the age. Here's age 6 for the 10 of clubs. Here's age 14. So let's just say whoever called in is, or wrote in the chat, is, let's say, age 40. Okay. So if I'm the 10 of clubs and I'm age 40, the best card to look for is called the LR up here, long range. And I go down, and at age 40, it's the Ace of Spades. Hope you can see this light. Let's see if I can make it a little bit more clear. So that will then, you use this book to go to the Ace of Spades, and you read about, oh, what kind of year am I going to have? So this kind of system goes deep quickly, but I just want to try and stay on the surface. I've also bookmarked here the 10 of clubs, just to get a sense of what does this card mean. So this 10 of clubs, let's say I pulled that card and that wasn't my birth card. I could get a little sense of what it means. It means success in the communication fields or teaching, a lot on the mind. So again, remember, clubs is about knowledge and learning. And here it says the basic meaning. The 10 of clubs usually brings measurable success in one of the mind-related fields or endeavors. If you can remember, the 10 of clubs sat at the crown line in the mundane spread. So the 10 of clubs is sitting in a very strong position. And numerically, we can talk about the numbers in a little bit, but 10, so we start with 1 and we go through 9, but 10 has made it all the way around the track. So it's a 1 with a 0, and the 0 represents, I've already been around the circle once, before I then move into the face cards of Jack, Queen, and King. Those are the royal cards. So the 10 of clubs holds a really nice, it's got some information, it's been around the track. Let's see, what was the next card I wanted to show you? I think that's really it for this book, but guess what? There's another book that Robert Lee Camp did. It's called The Love Cards, about your personal relationships. Here's Robert's name again. So if I took that 10 of clubs, let's say that was mine, I wanted to know a little bit more. The 10 of clubs is about mental accomplishment. And excuse me, but I just started writing some of the people I knew that were 10 of clubs, just so I can see, is this accurate or not? Okay, so the 10 of clubs, according to this book that Robert wrote, is a very independent person. Regardless of sex, they will act as though they are a king or a queen. The females have masculine minds and natures, and all of them want to complete and unrestrained freedom to do what they choose, when they choose it. The 10 of clubs have come full circle in their quest for knowledge. So there's that going around the track, and it's about knowledge. They have powerful mind and a consuming desire for more knowledge that makes them progressive and usually very successful in this life. However, they must learn to regain the control over their mind, which has developed somewhat a life of its own. So you can, a little bit of something, a little bit too much of anything, it just goes overboard. So they have sometimes too much mind. Anyway, many 10 of clubs complain of having trouble sleeping because of the endless chatter of their marvelous mental equipment. The best path back to self-mastery is to direct the mind into the right motives, higher principles, and hard work. They need to work hard and keep busy to be happy. Okay, so here we go. So that talks a lot about the 10 of clubs. And what I like is in this relationship book, it talks about the 10 of clubs quest for the right occupation. So with this incredible mind, if they're not in the right field, not so good, not so healthy. So it gives a nice little description here. But here's the fun part with this book. Each card has karma cards. These are past lives that you either need to give to someone or they are here to give you something. You have karma cousins, and you have very specific past life cards. So let's say the 10 of clubs person who did a little comment in the chat box. They have a past life card with the 9 of clubs and the Jack of clubs. Well, hello, I'm a Jack of clubs, so we might have some past life either issues or good things to remember. Okay, so I hope that wasn't a little too much for you, but that is the love cards. All right, now I'm on to the third book that Robert Lee wrote, Exploring the Little Book of the Seven Thunders. Everything you ever wanted to know about the science of the cards. So just look at this cover. You've got the pyramid, you've got an archangel, you've got a runway with pillars entering here. You've got the sun, Ra, with wings. You've got the ace of spades with, again, a solar disc above the pyramid and flowers. Okay, so here we go. I'm going to open it up to, again, we're back to the 10 of clubs. Now this gets to be more intermediate level You don't have to go to this level if you don't want to, but you know me, a jack of clubs, I gotta read about it all too. It shows you where the 10 of clubs sits. It talks about what this card represents. It's mental success. It's the teacher card. And it's so funny because the first sentence is, what a fortunate card to be. But then when you go over here, it's still talking about the 10 of clubs. The love life of the 10 of clubs can be one of the worst in the deck. So I don't know. I'm going to pause there for a minute. You know, it's like playing this game of life. It's learning how to live with the cards that life has dealt you and learning how to hold the positive and the challenges, because without the challenges, we wouldn't grow. So yes, the 10 of clubs, you sit at the crown line. You've got this great mental prowess. Your focus needs to be on the right occupation. But you're going to have challenges with your love life. If that's the way it rolls, how to hold that, And so that's just a little taste test for this little game that I've kind of gotten into. You know, some people, they get into sports. Some people get into shopping. Ursula likes to look at divinatory systems. And I find it so fascinating because many things are all related to that moment of your birth, the date, the location, the time, that moment of your birth, because we all have one. It may not be recorded, but we all have a birth date. I saw another little orb fly by. So it's this idea of which wardrobe, what did I come in and which game did I come in to play? You know, so I just find it fascinating. I happen to be, if I use this system correctly, living in what they call the most blessed year of your life. So studying this and knowing it's my most blessed year between my birth date until my next birth date, I have 12 months to embrace the most blessed year. It's a narrative that I've said, okay, it says it in the book, let me test it. And already I can feel the energy of feeling very, very blessed, because I am the type of personality that I don't feel like I need a lot, except I need space and time. But as far as material things, yeah, space and time. But what really gets me going, the most blessed parts are really about meeting soul family, meeting people who kind of think similarly. Don't mind sharing and exploring random things, not random, but ancient sciences, esoteric wisdom, mystery schools. You know, that's the kind of stuff that just gets my, I don't know, just wakes me up. And Jimmy always says, Ursula, you just lit up. It's like, yeah, are we talking about galactic stuff? Are we talking about, hey, test the tea leaves? Let's see. Because the dashboard that I like to play with, yes, I have books, but it's more about who wants to come and play. So if you have a particular destiny card, I did the 10 of clubs, it was a brief little synopsis. If there's 5 people who write in the comments below, and you give me just your month and day, like July 11th, September 6th, and I will look up your card, and I won't say what your name is, but I'll do a little mini reading for 5 people, and I'll put it in the playground. How does that sound? So if you want to play, let's go for it. Okay, well, thank you for being with me on the Ascension Playground. Until next time, bye for now.